What's going on, everybody? Today we'll be stepping a tiny bit outside of our comfort zone and going for a conversation about an action-based game rather than sci-fi, although not far out of the sci-fi realm. So, I heard very recently that Sombra had been announced and released on the PTR of Blizzard's Overwatch, and I decided I would take a look at her and record it. And for anybody who's playing on console and would like to see how she looks and all her skins, this is what this video is for. You can see how she plays and all that. So this is post-commentated, so obviously I can't keep up time perfectly with what's going on, but these are the skins that are available for Sombra currently. They all look really, really nice to me. The only one I don't think I like all that much is the Azucar one. It's not that great in my opinion, but Los Muertos is much better in my opinion. Like the paint on her glows, it's really, really nice. And then the augmented and the I think it's cyber or something. The one that shows right now. That one. Yeah, that one is so nice. Like, I'm absolutely going to save up the points to grab that as soon as I possibly can. As soon as she goes live on the actual servers, I'm definitely getting that. So, after that, let's go ahead and try to get into some matches. Blizzard has added some 3-on-3s. I don't know how long that's been in the game. I guess I must be new to it. But the 3-on-3s, those are really, really cool. There's no health packs on the map anywhere, and there's no respawn, so it's all about your skill, which unfortunately I have very little of. So I try to get some test run out with Sombra, and I really am no good with her. She is definitely a stealth and disable sort of character. She can teleport herself to certain locations on the map as long as you throw the teleporter first, and she can disable other players. Now, something I have to get used to is the disabling does not actually disable their main weapon. They can still shoot you. Don't be an idiot like I am. Like, okay, like this. Oh wait, no, it must not be this. Well, yeah, it's this one. I disabled them and chased him down, but I took so much damage and actually died from that. So I cut it there because it's embarrassing. So, and there's a lot of cuts in this. Don't you worry. And I'm gonna tell you right now, all these cuts are me dying. So I try something different this time. I try to set up my teleport a little early and then try to scout out the area and see what's going on, stuff like that, you know. Because while she's stealth, she sprints, and that's great for mobility and getting around pretty quickly. I don't find anything, so I warp back to where I was at, and it turned out to be a waste of time. So you know, I'm taking some shots from over here, trying to test out the gun and stuff like that, testing out what the right click does. This is like where I was trying to test the range of it and see like where I could hit people from. And I figure it's a pretty good range on it. Like, I have to be pretty close to get them, but not all that close. So I'm like running around the area, trying to get a good shot on people. So I disable this guy, and I'm like, okay, I got him disabled. I can go for a kill. No, I die, and I cut there again. So again, I'm trying to really feel out what I can do with this disable and what I can do with her gun. Her gun plays a lot like Tracer's, kind of like she is pretty much both the Tracer's gun put into one gun, except the damage is half, but the ammo is doubled. So it seems like it's about the same damage per second as Tracer's gun, or guns, but it's like, I don't know, it's weird. I die there too. I was just not doing well in those 3v3s, so I decided I would try to go for the 6-on-6, like the actual matches, and I get in there and everybody's already playing Sombra, which to be expected. The character just came out, so I figured, hey, let me try to get in on Sombra as well. That sounds like a good deal, and people are making jokes about it in the chat, and that's cool. I'm glad people are having fun with it, which was a little bit different from the 3v3s. 3v3s people were playing pretty seriously, so like it was probably best for me to back out of there since I was just trying to get footage. So we're all messing around in the starting gates. I really like Sombra's design. More than any of the other Overwatch characters. I think she's pretty
My
cool.
ultimate is charging.
She's got like the hacker aesthetic, I guess, which is, you know, obviously because she's a hacker, right? But it's just she's a really cool design. Like that's the skin in action. That looks amazing. It looks really cool.
¿Qué onda? Hey, hey. Hola.
Typical pre-match shenanigans. So these guys immediately sprint off, and I'm like, hey, I should do that too. And I immediately get shot. So I'm like, no, maybe not. Let me turn around and run back. So just kind of like feeling her out still. And I get to this health thing, and I'm like, hey, I can grab this health. And I look down at my health, and it hasn't increased. So I try again. It doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, is it glitched? What's going on? And it takes so long for it to click in my brain, like what actually happened there. One of the enemy Sombras has hacked the health dispenser. She can do that apparently, and she makes it impossible for you to grab health. I don't know how long that stays there, maybe until she dies, but that's extremely cool. So we're going back and forth, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm getting my ass kicked, let me run away. My teammate runs up there and takes her out, I guess, or she disappeared. I have no idea what happened. So I grabbed that health pack, and about this time is when I start getting some fancy ideas. Like I look up at that roof, and I'm like, hey, I wonder what'll happen if and I kind of test out the idea if I can throw the teleporter and teleport to it. And this is when you start seeing some really cool stuff from her. Let's see if I do it here. Yeah, I throw the teleporter over and warp to it midair and just leap over the wall, which is extremely useful. I can imagine that being so helpful in so many situations. Like when you've got a Torbjorn turret stationed somewhere around and the only way through is through a choke point. You could just throw the teleporter over the wall and hack the turret. I'm sure you can do that. So that's pretty cool. Like that's amazing. And I started trying some other stuff. Hey, I wonder if I can throw it in there. And I wait a little while, you know, just try to see what's going on. And yeah, it works out perfectly fine. Well, of course, aside from this person being in there waiting for me. And that's one thing you have to be careful with when you're playing with Sombra. Like her teleporter, it can be seen by the enemy, so you definitely want to be careful where you throw it, but at the same time try to throw it in some pretty cool like tactical locations. You can get some amazing angles with it. So I've been hacked and I'm like, oh god, I better try to run, but I don't make it, I die. And this guy's hanging out, just camping here waiting for me. Oh, also, the teleporter can be used while you're fighting someone. Like, you can just throw it and, like, get an edge on somebody as they're trying to aim at you. It's kind of like Tracer's, her recall or whatever, where she goes backwards 3 seconds, except this is more precise in my opinion. I've never been very good at using Tracer's recall at all. Pretty bad at it.
See you later.
Oh, this is pretty embarrassing. This is something that this should have been a kill for me coming up, but I was playing so poorly throughout this entire game. I'm playing poorly, but this is like the first time playing in a couple months. I actually got back into the game just because I heard that Sombra was coming out. I was like, whoa, that sounds pretty cool. And we have been waiting for her to come out for some time. So that's something you really don't want to do. You don't really want to throw your teleporter directly into the enemy. That's probably not the best idea. I mean, I did it there and it kind of worked out, but I wouldn't recommend it. And I was debating throwing it up there and just trying to like stand on top of the roof, but I know that wouldn't have worked.
I'm moving the table. Where's the fun in playing fair? Where's the fun in playing fair? Where's the fun and playing.
Everyone's doing the voice line.
My ultimate is charging.
Locating.
My EMP is charging. My ultimate is ready.
Always leave yourself a backpack.
Look at how cool that is. That is so cool. I can see her being extremely cool to play in some of the more higher level matches where people are like employing strategies that most people don't even think of. I imagine her being extremely key in that type of stuff because she's ridiculous. So let's see. Oh yeah, like that. That is so cool. Like that, I can sprint and throw them at the same time. So, like as far as mobility, I don't think there are a few people who are equal to her in mobility, and like you definitely have people like Genji, who can climb and double jump at all times. It's not even on cooldown. But then there are people like her who like she's very fast. She can teleport to places, and she has a pretty good weapon. Like her gun is pretty strong. So I don't think there are many people who are going to be able to like handle her. At least not on like a casual level. She's pretty good. Like, look at that. Like the fact that she can cancel out entire health boxes means that if your team doesn't have a healer and their health gets low, that's just it. Because like I'm forced to go into this battle right here, and I have no health, and I die, of course. And there's nothing I can do about that. So we get back into the game, and there's 30 seconds left on the clock. I mean, we definitely don't win. No spoiler there, because everybody's playing Sombra, and nobody wants to switch, and we're all just having fun with it. But it was extremely fun. So with that, I think I will say goodbye, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.